So now that we have our onion in our meatball mixture, now we're just going to add some seasoned salt. I would do 2 to 3 tablespoons, and your eggs. I'm doing 1 egg per pound of beef. So I'm doing 3 eggs. This is the glue that holds our meatballs together, basically. Beautiful. And last, a cup of breadcrumbs. You can use seasoned or unseasoned. I'm using seasoned. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to go ahead and make the meatball mixture. So after I get my mixture combined, where all the egg is soaked up by the beef, all the breadcrumbs are evenly distributed, I'm going to heat my oil up and start making my meatballs. Now, you can roll these meatballs by hand, or if you want more perfectly shaped round meatballs, you can use a meatball maker. I've done it both ways. I want to make sure that my oil is nice and hot, but not too hot. You don't want it spattering. And I scoop out a meatball that's about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to hand roll it and place it in the oil. You want to move them around, make sure they don't stick. Slowly start to turn your meatballs so they get brown on all sides. Oh, they smell so good. Okay, so now that all my meatballs are in the pan and they're cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start my water for the spinach pasta. Just want to add a little salt. Start that water boiling. It doesn't take long for the spinach pasta to cook. And then I turn my meatballs so they're brown on all sides. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes a meatball. You just want to make sure they don't stick to the bottom of the pan, so you want to keep turning them. Ah, they smell great. And you can tell once they're done because they take on a different feel. They're a little bouncier. When you turn them, it doesn't feel like they want to fall apart. I'm going to take a muffin tin and just loosely spray some cooking spray. You can use olive oil, butter, canola, it doesn't matter. And then I take some refrigerated biscuit. I use the fluffy buttermilk biscuits. And you just want to press them in each hole. And then you're going to press down on the top with 2 fingers and make an indentation on the top of each one. So in the muffin tin, and then press. They don't have to look perfect because once we put the butter and the olive oil and garlic on top, they're going to look beautiful. Now that I have my biscuit dough in the muffin tin, I'm going to take a measuring cup. I'm actually just going to use the measuring cup that I use for my breadcrumbs. And I'm going to add some olive oil. I'm thinking about 3 tablespoons. A couple tablespoons of butter. And then I'm just going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic. Pop this in the microwave for just about 23 seconds. Once they're done on all sides, once you don't see any pink on any sides of the meatballs, go ahead and transfer it to a plate lined with a paper towel. It'll soak up that extra oil. You want to make sure that there's no pink left. Now that our water is boiling, I'm going to add our spinach fettuccine, which doesn't take too long to cook. It's about 6 minutes. We're going to let that get nice and tender, and then we're going to start our rolls. I'm just going to take that mixture and just pour it over the top of these rolls. You want to make sure to get some of that garlic in there. Yum! These are so good. And it goes so great with the meatballs and the spinach pasta. And then I'll just pop this in the oven for about 12 minutes. Now that our spinach pasta is boiling and our rolls are baking, it's time to make our Swedish sauce. This is super simple. In a small saucepan, we're just going to combine some cream of mushroom soup. Heat that over low, medium low. add some sour cream, about a cup. Couple shakes of paprika, and a half a cup of milk. Now we heat that until it's hot. I think it's time to check on our rolls. And they look like they're just perfect. We're gonna pop those in a bread basket. Before I go ahead and serve my Swedish meatballs over the pasta, I want to go ahead and set aside some for my meatball subs on Thursday night. So I'm going to take about a quarter of the meatballs and store in an airtight container. That way, come Thursday night, dinner is already halfway made. We're going to seal that and store it in the refrigerator. And think of all the time that you're going to be saving. Using this method of cooking where you're reusing your time throughout the week, that savings will just keep adding up. So come the end of the week, dinner is just going to take a few minutes. Now we have to drain our spinach pasta. To serve our Swedish meatballs over spinach pasta, first you want to pile a heaping scoop of your pasta on a plate. Top that with a few meatballs. And now we're going to drizzle some Swedish sauce over the top. Yum, nice hot Swedish sauce. And then now we're going to top that with a few sliced tomatoes. So you take some grape tomatoes and you're just going to slice them in half, lengthwise, and place it over the top. Just a few tomatoes each. Voila, there you have it. Swedish meatballs over spinach fettuccine with tomatoes. Add one of our rolls, and there you have dinner. Hi, busy mom. If you're running short on time, I have the perfect dinner for you. It's Wednesday night and we're having pork fried rice with a Thai shrimp pizza and a crisp Asian cucumber salad. Now that may sound like a lot, but we've already done a lot of the prep work. So to start out with, I'm going to chop some green onions. And these green onions are going to be used on top of our pizza. Our pizza is the first thing that we need to start with tonight. So I'm going to dice these onions, and I'm going to store half of them for our green onion chips tomorrow night. They're basically potatoes sauteed in some oil with green onions. And think about how easy it's going to be tomorrow night now that we already have the chopping done for us. I'm first going to spread the peanut sauce. This is some Thai peanut sauce. Sometimes you can use like a satay peanut sauce. Just going to spread the peanut sauce on the crust. I'm using a regular ready-to-bake pizza crust from the grocery store. I have the oven on 400. Now we'll top that with some cheese, some mozzarella cheese. Kind of tone down that spicy peanut taste. And this is about a cup of mozzarella cheese. So it's about half of a 16-ounce bag, or one full 8-ounce bag. Do you remember those vegetables that we had with our pork chops on Monday night? Well, that's going to be the topping for our pizza. So we'll take our leftover zucchini and squash and carrots and just start setting those vegetables around, arranging them. You don't need much, just about a cup of the leftover vegetables, carrots, and then we'll take our shrimp. And what I did was I got a 2-pound bag of frozen shrimp, and I went ahead and got the cooked shrimp. I pulled the tails off, and I'm only going to use about 1/4 of the bag because we're going to save the rest of the shrimp to have with our shrimp penne pasta. So you want to keep the rest of it frozen and take out about 1/4 of the bag. Place the shrimp around on the pizza. Remove the tails. And be sure to return that bag to the freezer so none of the other shrimp get defrosted. Finally, we're going to top our pizza off with our chopped green onions. And then finally, a handful of bean sprouts. Just scoop out as much as you need. You only need a handful. Perfect. Now we're just going to pop this in the oven on 400 for about 12 minutes. Okay, remember those leftover pork chops we had from our lemon pepper pork chops? We diced those and stored them. And also that cooked rice that we had when we made our rice pilaf. So what I'll do over medium-high heat is heat a few tablespoons of vegetable oil. In our wok, you can also use a large nonstick skillet. Let that get nice and hot. And then I'm going to take a bag of frozen Asian vegetables that I've let sit out in the refrigerator and defrost. And you can use any combination of vegetables. Just look for just a stir-fry vegetable. Here we go with the vegetables. We got yummy broccoli, carrots, water chestnuts, red bell pepper, mushrooms. And then you want to add your rice and your pork chops. And I'm just going to add the pork. There you go, diced pork. A few more vegetables. I'm going to add a pinch of ginger, ground ginger. All that's left to do is just saute this rice in the oil and the garlic with the ginger, and we're going to sprinkle it with some soy sauce while we're frying it. And when we're done, we'll just sprinkle some sesame seeds on top. And we'll have our pork fried rice. So easy. While our rice is frying and our pizza is baking, I'm going to show you how to make a crisp Asian cucumber salad that's so delicious and so easy. First, I'll take a cucumber. In my book, I say to peel it. I'm going to peel half of it, just to make it a little pretty. So I'll do stripes of peel. And then I'll take it, and I'm going to slice it into 1/2-inch slices. And put it in a bowl. Okay, and I put all my cucumber slices in a bowl. This is the simple part.